And hello everybody, and welcome to the stream tonight. A little bit of a special stream. Joining me tonight is my good friend Hurley from over there in Hurley TV. Hey Hurley.
Hey.
We are going to be talking about some Chronicles of Illyria. The MMO that we're waiting on, or the Meow multiplayer evolving online world, massive evolving online, whatever it is. There's been quite a bit of updates within COE in the past, I don't know, several months. Things continuously going on, and that leads us to all of this down to what's happening today. And for many, that's been going on for quite a while. The domain and settlement selection for a little over a week now, really. Kings, though, picked their kingdoms back 6 months ago, and then it kind of got halted and then picked back up from Monday, a week before that, and then the Friday before that. So over the weekend, the Kings went, and then starting Monday last week, the Dukes picked, and then starting Monday, the Counts started picking for this week. But we can see that the map is continuing to fill out all over Chronicles of Illyria, which is pretty amazing. They even have a wonderful video on YouTube now with the pre-Illyria client, where they're actually showing some actual gameplay, someone running around in there. 7 minutes, man, 7 minutes. I did want to talk a little bit about how, there's a couple of good spots that I've been looking at. And though we've pretty much settled where we want to be, I do want to point out a few things, though, before we go ahead and pick. In fact, the only person that's picked within the entire duchy at the moment has been the Duke. So that's pretty cool. Down in this area called Silver Cross, this is quite an interesting thing, because had I kept to kind of our original version, that there would be an area north and an area south, and those would be the main kingdoms, or the main cities within the county, and the county seat that's there is quite large, actually, the Ironwood city that's there, and that there would be the Coilmore forest around it. This is a wonderful plus one extra town out there for whoever. This is such a solid choice for what we could have picked. And I would be remiss if I didn't actually mention that Silver Cross is looks like something almost picture perfect to the original concept of what I had for the county, even though this is most likely not what we're picking tonight. But to play off of that, though, this river that Silver Cross has goes up into the area that we are likely going to pick tonight. And another funny thing is that the town is smaller. Like, the central town is quite a bit smaller by nearly 75 people or so, versus even the settlement that's north of me, or north of here in the northern part of the county, which is much larger than my own settlement. It's weird, man, because I'm picking the smaller settlement because of location over. I take location over the substance of how many people it has. But this brings me to the thought that, if I had $375 to blow and could be a double county, like in the next 10 minutes or next 5 minutes, I probably would. I just don't have that kind of money. But if one of the things I would like to do is potentially maybe take over Silver Cross at some time, and then have a good dominating area between all through this river that runs through, that starts all the way up in White Spider. and then comes on down. And White Spider's right here at the border. Um, well, technically the river starts before that. It starts way on up, but up in the other kingdom. But it's a lot to look at, you know, lot to consider. I don't want to be. We're not a frontline county. We're a support county that would support this front line right here, and so that's why we're one back. But if we were back even one more, oh man, something about Silver Cross though just makes me happy that it is. It's really really nice, and it's smaller, and it's quaint. But ultimately, I think that we have two barons right now, and we have a couple of other potential mayors. So that would bring us up to 5 settlements alone within the kingdom, or within the county, and that's kind of why we're looking at this larger one anyway. I do like the defensibility with this dual river, and also this direct river access to and from the Ironwood town of the End up here, and the Ironwood town of the End is right on a bridge that crosses directly over with roads all the way up into, right into the frontline area. So as our defense barony that's on the border of White Spider, it seems kind of important to me that we go ahead and we have that defensibility, and we have our guy up north that has the bigger town. So what? It's bigger. Again, I'm looking at, on a base, the base population is 72 to 94. It's got like 42 parcels, 31 to 42, versus say the one down below, which is like 33 to 44. Only a couple of more parcels, but a hell of a lot more population. But that population can grow. That's another cool thing. Like, roughly the same amount of parcels, but the population can grow. So I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on what we're selecting and what we're doing here, Harley?
No, I agree completely. I agree with exactly what you want, man. And it's
I
not just because it's what Arius did, so it's what you want. It's because
1 minute, man. 1 minute. So, what do you think about the potential that in the future, if possible, we go in and we take over Silver Cross and add it to Ironroot County, or the Sun Tree of Ironroot in the Kipik
that would
Lands?
make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'd almost want my city to move though, and that's the thing though. Like my core city will remain where it is. But man, I do like freaking this freaking town down here. It's so nice.
I think that we should go with the initial ideal that we had when we moved kingdoms, just personally because it's what made the most sense to you at that time.
I do too. We had a few. There's the option of hey, things were going to be taken, and what if Red Hope was sniped or picked up beforehand? By the way, 54 seconds. And then like the second choice was Lantern's Mouth, but now with Silver Cross down there, I'm between. Lantern's Mouth again has more towns in it. Gosh, there's so many things down here that I really like too. But but staying on one river instead of trying to expand into two just seems more natural anyway. This is most likely 19 seconds. Oh my gosh. It's here, man. We're finally here.
It's here, and you know that you're gonna get your for sure solid.
Yep, that's what we're looking at. I'm super excited. Now, I'm also terrified though, because the Vornair's royal duchy is super close to us, by the way. Like, really, really close. We're only like a county in from the border, and we're really, 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 really close to Adam's pick. So, oh, oh, it's so nervous. Oh, are we there? I think we're here. Let me completely refresh this. Go back in. Jump into here. Jump into here. Look at this. And claim Red Hope. Yeah, okay. You're about to claim the county of Red Hope. Are you sure? Confirm. All right. And then I need to claim a settlement, which will be Brown Fair. I will claim that. And my additional mayor title. How many titles do I wish to apply? I'll apply the second one. They'll give us 9 more parcels and 45 more population. And confirm this. All right, and we're going to change Red Hope to Iron Root. And we're going to change Brown Fair to the Heartwood. Like LA, which is the Angels. Law this, L that, and so forth. And that's it. Oh, now it's green.
Congratulations, man.
And Starhaven's green. Red Hope is now green. Look at that. Look at that. There we go. It's taken up. So 110 to 149 population. It looks like it is still a town. It's not a city. Not enough parcels, not enough people, but that's okay. And now I'm literally estimated population 1 person bigger than the end up there. That's great. All right, let me notify Discord. Wow. So, yeah. The first count in the county to pick.
I'm surprised that nobody else has.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like, there are duchies that haven't been claimed, of course. There are, and there are like some void land areas out in the map where people just have not been picking at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We had a reservation in Boardwalk, but we did not take it because obviously we moved. Dallas! No! Silly dog! Sorry, the dog's barking back there. I think it's Blackrock and Spring Moon, maybe? Silence the Hound, I know. Yeah, solution. Yeah. But yeah, there's a whole... I can't even tell now what's been taken and what hasn't. Property names. What does this say? Okay, Alicia, Ironroot, awaiting approval. The Heartwood, awaiting approval. All right. Yep, we've got it though. Like I can't see it anymore on that kind of level. With the what's been claimed with what hasn't been claimed.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe it though. I can't believe we straight up got it. I like the fact that it now has a little home symbol though. Right over the and the Kippic population, of course, is completely insane in the area. Like
right.
90% Kippic in the county. I think my city may be No, it's got a little bit of nair and a little bit of weird. One of these sons of bitches has just Kipik in it, 100%. Oh, there it is. The little village up there, village of Red Hollow, has just Kipik in it.
I'm going to be disappearing for about 5 minutes to eat my dinner, okay?
Sure, go right ahead. I'll end up playing some Space Engineers tonight.
Cool, cool. I'm on it right now. Trying to figure some stuff out. Take a couple seconds and eat.
Sure, no problem. Have they been approved? Wait. Was it already approved that quick? Really? Hang on, let's go back out a level and see. Oh, no, it's still the old one. Why does that not have the... It doesn't say awaiting approval anymore. Makes me wonder what's going on with this. I like the... so, solution. What are your thoughts? Like, the defendability of this area seems like it'd be really, really, really good. And I was talking before about how, if possible, I'd like to pick up Silver Cross down here too, and then just have this whole part of the river all the way down. Like beforehand, this was like the perfect image. What was in my brain about what our county would have been like before I started adding in like whenever you guys and so forth. I'd always thought about I would have a group to the north and a town to the north and a town to the south, and I'd be right in the middle in the forest. But and it didn't work out like that. But I love this defensibility. I love this path along this, that I've got a direct river route up to my baron here. The military guys. We've got our trade over here. We've got a couple of different people looking at these different places, including yourself, hopefully. If you can get those guys to come in and maybe take something like Stormblack here on this waterway. This one, the problem with this little town is that it doesn't have a direct connection. At least not so easy. We may have to build a road from there to there. I think that would be pretty cool. And then they can come over, get on the bridge, and then come down. Could take 5 days, could take less, could take 7 days or something. No, actually, I think, wait a minute, was it a 2 day or 5 days? Something on the naming process. Actually, I'm just going to refresh because it doesn't say awaiting approval anymore. I want to see if something happened, if it already got approved. I hope the word "the" isn't a problem. No, it still says Red Hope. Oh, no, see, there on that level, it's still awaiting approval. But, like LA and so forth, the word "the" appears, in town names. And the Heartwood just sounds so much better than just Heartwood to me. It's like the Heartwood. So elfy. Elven area. This one's grayed out because this has also been claimed. There we go. That's showing me how things are claimed and what's not claimed. Yeah, got the choice I wanted. And if we had gone into Boardwall, like initially planned, there were a couple of different areas we were looking at. One of them was right. What? Wait, that's been claimed? Wait a minute. What? Wait. What? This is supposed to be Santana's. What the hell? Now I'm confused. Now I'm really confused. Wait, where's Santana? Is he on? Someone just snipe your area? It was going to be Santana, I thought. Wow. Well, anyway, I was this second duchy, or the second county right here, right behind where Santana was going to be. This seemed to be like a good idea. This gray shelter here was also really good because it does have a very, very tiny little amount of Kipik, but at least it's something. And then this is like another 1% Kipik here as well, which is frustrating because if we wanted to play our Kipik down here, it seemed to become impossible. Yeah, yeah. Oh, look at this. So all of these counties got caught up into one mega county, and which becomes the Bloodthorn Syndicate. This is really neat what they're doing. They've got areas that are set aside specifically for production of things for like ships and be it growing trees, flax, and so forth to make sails and all that. They've got all that shit already planned out, and then they just took, I guess, the king or the duke or something went and just claimed up with like multiple county titles and took all those counties and merged them all into one big ass county. Like the king though, I think this is the proper king's area here. So he took that, and there's the capital. Yep, his capital here, which isn't too far back. Oh, but speaking about how the other kingdom to the north, Vornair, and what Adam chose, let's look in Vornair for a minute. Now we're in Starhaven, and this is Starhaven. Okay, so my county is right here where that pointer is, right there where those two rivers meet. Right there. And I believe his kingdom coming in right here. I believe his capital is like right here. I believe. I'll double check though. For Haven Spire. Look at this population. Look at that population. 745 people. 745 people right there. That may not even be it. Like, I may be looking at the wrong one, because I could swear that one of them was like over 1,000. I remember that. Yeah, because this is the area that's not no. Oh no. This is it. This is his. Okay, get a load of this. You thought 700 was a lot. Oh, he took up this. Yeah, he took the stronghold. Straight up stronghold. 2,170 people. 2,000. I've got 150 people in my town. Oh my gosh, the size of it. And he's got this one little county here that's the buffer that no one has claimed, and then it pushes right into Elysia here. So yeah, right into that duchy. I have to go all the way out? Really? Should just be able to click on that. There we go. So he's right here. So that's going to be right here. So Great Ivory. His people will cross through this one little area here into Great Ivory. He can come straight down. He owns all the shit anyway up here. He comes straight down, and we're right here. So if this is attacked, or this is attacked, we're right there to defend both of these for the PvP elements, because I want there to be significant PvP options within our county. So let's talk about the county of Ironroot for those people that are watching. Ironroot County is a support county that helps defend across the front line. So be the front line right across through here. This is what we want to help protect through here. So as a support county, we're going to make sure that the supplies of food, clothing, things that need to be pushed up are there, because in acts of war or harassment or whatever from the other side, typically one of the first things that's going to happen is they're going to fuck with the food supply, right? So they're going to go in and burn wheat fields and so forth and chop down berries and so forth. They're appropriate for Kipik in this case, and do whatever that they can to starve those people. And I've got to keep a supply pushing up. Also, if I get Silver Cross as well at some point, this will connect me directly down to the Duke, which is here. And so keeping a direct line from the Duke and supplying right up through White Spider and on up into our troop area seems like a pretty freaking awesome thing. So people that want to just PvE only, like entire counties that are PvE cultured, do much better down here in like Columbia, because I think he's calling it Alice is the name that it's going to become. But in this area, there is no direct PvP of a kingdom like you've got a kingdom here. However, you could have ships sail across like this, or somebody come around here and come, which most likely they would come into here. They might come in here just because of the lack of defensibility. It's like this area here as well, probably going to be filled with a lot of PvEers. And while we certainly need PvE where we are, PvP, it forces us into we have to be aware. So the Duke asked me about how, if there was a call to arms, right, would I answer the call to arms? Because, in the event that something's happening there on the border. And I'm like, actually, not only is the answer yes, but in theory, I'm the kind of guy that would be sending the message to the Duke to let them know that they're under attack. Because let's say that an army or a group comes into White Spider or Forest Crow here and is attacking. These guys are going to be way too busy defending. My thought is that as I continue to start sending supplies up, and I send a messenger down to the Duke to inform the Duke of what the hell is going on. It just seems reasonable that to me that's what the supply guy does. Like, that's what the support county does. They make aware of the situation, they assess the situation as best they can from afar outside of the front line, but watching the front line, making sure that people get what they need, that we can save off any loss of our land, because eventually this is just going to be, all of this is going to be PvP, right? I could lose half, if not all, of my entire county, in the very first act of war that happens, and then if I lose this, I'm fucked. What am I going to do? Push back into here or something? Like, somebody else is probably going to own this unless I can get it. Again, that was $375 that I didn't have to spend to pick up a second county, but perhaps in game I can get it through some action or some way. or perhaps at the ceticism, the first ceticism, if no one has this land and it's all NPC controlled, then I'll be able to uh, have the Duke redefine the county borders, and I simply absorb it. Whatever the case may be. If we get Silvercross, that's great, but I can't make plans for Silvercross until there's a point where it's solid that I'm going to get it. And being that I'm just the first person to pick here of the counts within the in the counties or within the duchy, who knows? Who knows? Somebody could pick that next. Somebody could pick that next. Somebody could, you know, like Darkdale is pretty cool. Oaken Garden's pretty cool. Uh, Oak Gardner, sorry, Oak Gardner End, because it has a. Wait, I thought that this had the town in it or the city in it. Did some shit change? Hang on, is it in Darkdale? That's a town. Where's the city? Okay, I'm confused. Oh, there it is. There's a city. And I was hoping that, maybe my little area would have upgraded to a city level. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think that would have happened unless I had gotten like this here. Also, for those of you watching that want to help support the county in some way, like what could we do to help you out? Well, there is something you can do outside of obviously using a friend code if you're going to sign up for the game, if you have done so already. If you have, there is this item in here called these tokens, these villager tokens. For every 5 of these that I get, throughout the community and so forth, that people can send, they're $10 a pop. For every 5, they add in another parcel of land on top of they add in more population. The more population we have, the bigger the town can become, and so forth. We have to have certain amounts of population. All these tokens and stuff come in and they apply. And these villager tokens can play different roles. So what's the best way to help support the city? Villager tokens, right there. Yeah, maximum quantity reached at the moment, so I can't buy any more. I have all my villager tokens that I can. Also, something that's going to be coming up is that there's going to be some sales coming up. I think we're due for our Kickstarter anniversary stuff, and so hopefully with that we'll have some cool things come in. People can come into the game for $45 right now. I think at one point it was 35 and then it became 45, and the older packages, the higher end packages are now gone. But even if you were, say, someone that you just bought the $45 pack because of something that they have going on right now, people can go in and say, hey, let me get a mayor title, and they can pick up the mayor title here on Luna for $85, and then say, hey, I want to get a count, and then spend that $375 on top of that to upgrade that mayor title to a count title. And maximum quantity reached. Oh, these are what? I guess because I already picked. If I had done it before I picked, I don't know. But I've picked now, so my account is a little different, I'm guessing. In any case, hopefully this will be approved. We'll know in a couple of days if the Heartwood and Ironroot is accepted. We can hope so. I'm just so excited. They've also put out recently a post. Let me go to Discord here and show you guys what I'm talking about. Oh, here's the live pre-Illyria footage that they've done, which is pretty cool. Sellers is coming. Where's the list of job profession things? Ah, so this is the and hi Irish, welcome, buddy. So this is the list of job professions. By the way, Irish, I've been playing some Space Engineers lately. I'm not playing on that one server that you and I played on before. I do want to play some more medieval, but I've gotten pulled into some Space Engineers. All these are the different jobs or professions that you can acquire in the game. Everything from from a beekeeper to a butcher and so forth. The diplomats and fishermen and, groundskeeper, which is kind of interesting because butler and groundskeeper are kind of what my character were in his as he was growing up. Moneylender. Wow. There's a mummer. It's an actor. Yeah. Mortician. Mortician. Who wants that job in game? I don't know. Probably some necromancer or wannabe necromancer. Nurse, officer, page. Yeah. Lots and lots and lots and lots of jobs. We're going to have lots of rangers, most likely. Rangers roam the forest areas looking for troubles such as forest fires or other threats to the health of the forest. They work in conjunction with forestry-minded woodcutters to ensure... Wow, have I, lost out all my... I'm not seeing IRC at the moment, by the way, guys. But I can look over here. Yeah. Yep, lots of cool things. Spicer, spy, stationer, tax collector, tavern keeper, tanner, tailor, tinkerer, trickster. A trickster can be a thief or a pickpocket or a con man or an artful liar. Artful liar. Trickster can also be a street magician or similar performer whom sleight of hand is a bread-winning skill. Okay. Woodcutter, woodworker, weavers, warriors, vintners. This has to do with wines. Grow vines to produce wines. This is a skill I want. This is a profession. I would like coil more wine, to be perfectly honest. That is something that for my family. I think that's one of the skills I wanna go into. I'm gonna need diplomacy as well, though. I think a lot of diplomacy may also be just actual interaction. But I'm glad to see that when you're interacting with NPCs and stuff, that diplomacy is gonna hopefully come into play in some mechanical way. Or diplomat. Here we go. I want, is there herbologist, biologist, arborist, any of that in here? It's not technically listed, but plants, herbs, why is plants only in here once? I know that there is a herb is not found. I know it's in here somewhere. A bailiff. Now this is another thing that I really want. I'm gonna need somebody for. We're gonna need some bailiffs. I'm gonna need. I believe I've got my constable. So we'll have the constable, we'll have the bailiff, hopefully we'll have a judge, though hopefully I would proceed as judge in my county, maybe? Unless I want to hand that off, I don't know. So back to COE. I love the fact that this is... I wonder what the wait time... again, it could be a couple of days. It could be... or it could be 20 minutes. Okay, we've got some taken down here in Myth Arbor. Now, from what I understand, every county in Myth Arbor is filled with counts. That there are And I think up here they're going to be doing a little bit of almost role play of like, I'm assuming it's up here. It could be anywhere through here. Uh, I wonder if it's Waterdale instead of Winterfell. They're going to do like Game of Thrones, the Northern Wall kind of concept, I believe, which is really, really, really neat. Which are going to be some strange, interesting Kipik, quite different than what we're going to play traditionalist Kipik, by the way, in this Kipik land. And so traditionalist Kipik do not kill plants. They don't eat meat. They they don't they don't want to take the life force away from something, be it a plant or an animal. So if they're gonna eat food, they would eat something that does not kill the plant even. So, for instance, we'll pick berries from bushes and eat berries because that doesn't kill the plant. But we won't chop down wheat because that does kill the plant. We wouldn't. I'm guessing we won't eat carrots either. Carrots, potatoes, uh, any of those vegetables. So we're really, really have limited our diet in a way, in an extraordinary way, based on our religion. Now, following the same religion but going a completely different way about this are the Genoa, which are way down here, down south in Kairos, even though there's some interesting stuff going on with Kairos at the moment as well. Apparently, this Genoa area, uh, like three or four of these people, these dukes, have created their own confederacy, if you will, and have separated themselves from the kingdom of Kairos. And that's been an interesting turn of events that's appeared recently under an announcement. So, in fact, it looks like, yeah, it's these four here. And then these two have been chosen. You can tell by the colors here. Oh, wasn't what I meant to do. But you can tell what has been taken, what hasn't, because there's this kind of almost white film over stuff. These have not been taken, I believe. And speaking of empty lands, there's a lot of that over here too. Man, I can't see it as well now. How are we doing? Close that back out. But yeah, that's why we wanted to stream tonight. Everybody was to stream the taking of the land and looking at where we're going, what we're doing. For those interested in the Heartwood, there is a forum post for the Heartwood and Ironroot County. In fact, I think I can just access it. Where was that at? Where did I post that? Did I post that in Luna? I'm guessing. Let's just do Heartwood and see what we get. You just go to COE, look up Heartwood. Our Discord information is there as well. And our two baronies are listed. The other towns with potential mayors are not listed yet. Wow, Ranger lore. The Heartwood recruitment. Ironroot County and Heartwood recruitment. All right, here we go. So this is Ironroot County, the Kipik and the Heartwood. Ironroot County, Count Arius Coilmore. Guardian, I wouldn't be called Count. Guardian Arius Coilmore. And Coilmore is actually two words here with a dash over the O. Little out of date. Discord link is here. We've got Silverthorn, we've got Thorngate. Our militia, our local guards are the Briarthorn, I believe. We've had quite an interesting time with getting this set up. Thorngate is our trade hub. Silverthorn is our uh, military training academy. So those that want to learn the styles and the teachings of the Kipik, what they bring to military combat, that would be in Silverthorn, which most likely Silverthorn is going to be the um, northern city within the county. That would be Silverthorn, and most likely that's going to be Thorngate. And Thorngate, because it is this interesting middle ground. I almost wish it was here, to be honest, right here or right here, but it's here instead. Then I believe Terra Rosa people, if they get their county, they'll probably be here. And then if our Reavers or Lost Souls Reavers group or whatever you want to say, whatever the hell we're called, our salty people would most likely look at that over that, I believe. And this hamlet is small, 9 parcels, but it can grow. All of these towns can grow. You know, my town could grow. Again, I would wish it were a city, but you know, by the time we enter in game, it should be. I have enough EP to cover it, so we've got that to kind of help add on and stuff like that. Plus, if I can get, like I said, if I can get people to send me villager tokens and that sort of thing, all of that's going to help. All of that. Also, speaking of those tokens, actually, speaking of, just take me directly to the video. Yep.
If an adventurer travels deep enough into the Blood Oak forests, they may find themselves face to face with the small folk known as the Kipik. Securing this rich land in the name of their god, Phaedon, all living things shall be protected. For they have built a city in the trees, and it is called the Heartwood. Come and join this majestic place. The city of Heartwood, in the county of Ironroot, within the Royal Duchy of Blood Oak.
Not anymore. Not anymore. No.
Kingdom of
No, we're not in Boardwall anymore either. Like, that changed. So I made that video a long time ago, obviously. The Discord and stuff is still valid and so forth, but also the other incorrect thing is that Phaedon is not a god. Their religion, Phaedon is like the Force. It's what is that type of religion called? I can't even think of the word. And as far as a release date, no. I will say though that pre-Illyria, they finally showed us pre-Illyria client on the 5th. So last week. They gave us some of this stuff, and just doing some commenting while we're watching. Again, pre-Illyria and Chronicles of Illyria are the same game but different skins. What I mean by that is that the pre-Illyria client is a low fidelity client, low poly and so forth. It's simplified graphics because the mechanics are the same between the two games, right? But because they want to be able to iterate and change very quickly and not have to wait on the high-end graphics to come back from the artist team, they can whip up the low-end graphics very quickly, throw them in the game. Because whenever you're building a game, there's something that they call gray boxing. And that's where it holds an asset, right? And it may just be a box or a ball or a sphere or something like that inside the client, instead of having like the appropriate mob and the way it's going to look and so forth. Well, as the whole game is, basically gray box, and eventually the graphics come in. But what I can show you is that in comparison, if I were to come over here, Santana. Okay, I will. what they where's the shiny stuff? Make sure I'm not in a channel that you guys can't see, because that would be bad. Not going to click on anything. Media. This is what I'm looking for. So if you're interested in, like, this is all pre-Illyria stuff here. But if you want to see, like, what the high-end graphic stuff is going to look like, for instance, they continue to show out, like, here's a tree, like a proper tree from the client. Here's some corn, right? And this is some rice, and there's some potatoes. And we've seen races and stuff too in the past. So, like, here's a carrot, right? So it is there is a high fidelity. In fact, they've also shown, gosh, it's been over a year since that's happened. They did show us some character creation in the proper client, right? So you can see all this, you know, slow fidelity and so forth. That's right. That's right. But right here,
they want to know if they can change the expressions.
This is,
you can't right now. We don't have.
This is the proper client, right? This at character creation, so you can see the detail that these characters will have in the main game, and that there's a huge difference between the two, right? So this is what you're looking for, you know. And hello, Scobe Sue. So between this and this, yes, it's the same thing, just the lower graphic version of it, right? But this is obviously much prettier. Much, much, much prettier. You glad you tuned in tonight? Your knowledge of Chronicles of Illyria is very limited, but you have taught me a lot tonight. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Zeno. I have been following this game for years now. Kickstarter, all that stuff. I missed the initial Kickstarter, believe it or not. I was preoccupied with some real life stuff and wasn't aware. But notice, like, how you'll get an options on what you want to say, and they'll be looking for something. Again, this is super simplified. This is the pre-alpha client, the pre-Illyria client, right? This is testing. And but the NPCs are interacting now. In fact, you could have a couple of NPCs talking to one another. At least you can assume they're NPCs. And you might try to listen in on them. And if they notice you, they may just shut up talking. And they may look at each other and then, like, go on their own way. It's because these NPCs do actually think. If an NPC can't get a job in their town, if they lose their job, if there isn't enough food in the area, if their hierarchy of needs are not met, the NPCs and their families, no, they have families, will pack up and leave, and they'll go to another city. It's like, for those of you who ever knew anything about the development of EverQuest Next, they talked a lot about how in EverQuest Next, instead of just having camps of orcs that would just respawn like they do in the original EverQuest or World of Warcraft or insert any MMO out there, right? They just respawn and at their little camp spot, and this is the respawn point. This game will not work like that. That they will spawn into the world typically through birth, and they will grow up, and then once they hit a certain age and so forth, they'll start to go off and adventure themselves from their own communities and wander out into the world. Even the animals act like this. Like if you kill all of the deer and there are no deer to breed more deer with, the deer population will go extinct. This whole game, again, you look at this and you're going, this is such, this is really low graphic. What is going on? But it's just the skin, right? It's just the skin. You compare this to the
what we've seen in screenshots and so forth to things like this here, and it's just amazing. In fact, where's the Kipik? The picture that I have in Discord of my icon comes from this. They're going to show Kipik. Kipik are tiny little people, but there they are. So this right here, this is a really, really cool race right here. This is the Madari. They have these blue eyes going on. They live out in the sea. So they're fairly short, but here's a Kipik. That's how tiny we are. Look, we don't even come up halfway. We just come up to the top of the thingy, the astronomical sign. By the way, also when you're born, the day that you're born, when you set your birth date, how old your character is, all of this applies to this, because at character creation you will actually see the like the alignment of the stars and the planets, or the planets and the moons and so forth, and the solar system, and all of this plays into your personal destiny. And every character has a personal destiny system. Now, how you interact and how that destiny comes to fruition is all up in the air. But for those of you that may be interested in looking at, or maybe you want to create a Chronicles of Lyria account, but you're not ready to buy into the game, that's all okay. There's plenty of COE stuff to go around. Like I'm losing my own talk here. I'm losing myself. Sorry. I get really, really hyper. So going back to the video that I made, I took this video was done from just a flat image that you see at the end of the video. And in that flat image, I took this flat image and I cut out and created a more 3D-esque environment out of it so that things can move around. And this was me. We're a gnome, but we live up in the tree like wood elves. We're a wood elf. We're short. We're all like all the short races put together. We're hobbits. We're gnomes, and we're wood elves, all rolled into one. We're all the short races. Not to say wood elves are short, but they're a lot shorter. They're shorter than, say, high elves, for instance, right? So in this world, they're the Kipik, and you can see like they have. Their homes are up here in the trees, built into these ironwood trees. Hence, the county's name is Ironroot, right? We will use lifts and pulleys and stuff. So you can see that this trader is coming through, like another trader back there, a caravan coming out. And that's kind of what was going on in my brain. It was like people will have to come in, and then our village or our city will be there. I don't want to particularly do all of the trade right here in the main city. That's why I really want this area to be here. I would rather people do most of their trading here, so that way we don't have large animals coming in and knocking over trees and stuff like that deep in our forest. Because you're going to have to go through our forest to get to us. Being that this is where I picked. Again, very defensible. This is also a tree city up here, another Kipik city, but I didn't choose it because this is where I want the Baron over the military training to be. So we have mayors, right? So I selected this town. One mayor will most likely select this town. Baron will select this town. The other Baron will select this town. And hopefully we'll have mayors here, here, and here. And whenever these two are turned and taken by barons, we can then fortify those cities, and they will become like this symbol on the map. They will become these fortified structures with these, be it a garrison or a fort or whatever the case may be. Now, these are set up here because this is the border to another kingdom, which is the Kingdom of Ornair. So I am really, really, really close here to this other kingdom through this border.
I'm back.
Welcome back, sir. Well, we're just covering some things. So for anyone that might want to sign up, like I was saying, into Chronicles of Illyria, I have a friend code that you can use.
I can't hear you if you're talking to me.
I'm talking to stream. I'm not holding down push to talk while I was just talking to them. But welcome back. Sorry. Actually, I have a friend code. Actually, where is my friend code? Is my friend code posted? I think my friend code's even posted in my Discord. But if you want to join into our Ironroot Discord, if you want to follow along, you don't have to commit to anything. Where is my friend code? Where is it? Oh, here it is. This is my friend code right here. I'm going to post this in chat for those that might be interested in signing up. There you go. That right there. And what that does is it helps, right? It helps anyone who does end up buying the game, for instance, will get their purchase will give us more of this stuff up here in the corner called EP, and I can use this EP to build out the town just before game launch. It's like kind of like a store credit for stuff that can only be purchased in game through EP in the first place, and once the game launches, EP goes away. Because we're going to have a 3-month period of setup, because all of these towns and so forth have, in theory, existed hundreds and hundreds of years. And so whenever we're walking in, we want to make sure that we can build up these areas so that they look like they've existed for a long time. You'll copy that down? All right, not a problem. And that'll also allow like EP to buy the defenses that they would need to turn these in from regular towns into military bases, right? It's wonderful. It's great. I'm super excited. Hopefully we get our names as we've put down Ironroot for the county and Heartwood for the town. And if that's approved, it'd be great. Again, villager tokens help us out too. It increases the population of our town by 1 for every for a villager token, and for every 5 villager tokens, we get another parcel of land, increasing the size of our city, which we're now about roughly somewhere around 39 to 52 parcels. If I had picked up this particular town, though, roughly the same amount of parcels, but yeah. And this is without the bonuses, though, that were thrown into my city. But or town. It's not a city, unfortunately. But we'll do the best that we can. Yeah. I've covered a lot of things. I've talked about our Discord that we have, that they can find us in forum posts in the COE website. And I was looking over the jobs, the professions, the list of professions. By the way, you should probably look over those profession lists and toss in a response at some point of what professions you particularly want to pick up.
Okay.
Yep. The devs put a ton of work in that. They have. And yes, it is super deep. It is super deep. Like, we're just looking at the Kipik here. Look at this. We're cute and short. Look at the big eyes. That's another thing about Kipik. We have really big eyes. Short little fuckers. It's great. And if you have, there's lots of Chronicles of Illyria, like Q&As on their own YouTube channel. A lot of other people will go in, because also on their main page, they will go in and they will put they'll do monthly roundups effectively on what they've been doing over the month. I really like this. So these AIs, these NPCs are a little bit more stupid, especially this one who just doesn't seem to want to fight. Let me introduce myself. and they give out the name and so forth. But he ends up going to these NPCs, and he starts creating some ruckus. And then eventually the other NPCs do join in to help defend their friend that's being attacked. Again, work in progress. Big old work in progress. And just imagine this scene, though, with like the full graphics, right? It'll be beautiful. Whenever this turns into this, it'll be beautiful. In fact, at the very beginning, do we get a little bit of that? See, the technology of, you can see that how all the races, they use one singular model that they morph into the different tribes, into the different races, if you will. And then here it is. Let's look at this for a second. This is like your age, your birth date, and so forth. This is what I'm talking about. Like, all of these things will change their alignment. I guess we're in a binary star system. But all of this plays into your personal destiny. Your birth date, your birth month, how old you are. And yes, 15. You can start the game as young as 15. In fact, they play around with this a little bit. Actually, let me go back. Let's see that change a little bit. Oh, there. Yeah. So she changes these numbers. These things are gonna flip around. Come on, change something. Show us. 1, 1, 8, 16. Oh yeah, the year is 8/16. Yeah, see, just even this back one. It's really neat for character creation. There's some nice footage of seeing this come up out of the floor that they've shown before as well. Combat's getting a little bit better. There are combination systems of like how you do stuff, I believe, on combat, where you're pointing and so forth. Though it does look like there's some element of tab targeting. An element? But not auto attack. Okay. I actually didn't expect that. I just realized that focus targeting. I don't want to say tab targeting, but it's focus targeting. So her friends aren't coming in to help her, right? And apparently she's not much of a fighter either. She's just, much like, people we know in real life, not exactly big fighters. Just going to pull out that shield. And she's just going to walk back? What is she doing? And her friends, do her friends still not? No. Now her friends are noticing. Finally, the friends are noticing. You can hear that combat music in the background over the... Oh, wow. He got hit a couple of times by those people. Wow. Yep. Crafting is going to be very, very intricate and so forth. And, yeah. It's pretty freaking cool stuff. All right. So I think I've shown pretty much everything I wanted to show. I wanted to make sure that I streamed the selection, that I could answer any questions. Does anyone have any questions about Chronicles of Lyria before I do in the stream? Or if you need to know how to get a hold of me. Obviously, my Twitch stream is also located down below in the Discord, or the Discord for my personal Discord that I use here on the stream is located down below. And if you need to get a hold of me in some way, that's one place you could go to be like, hey, Arius, I got questions about that game. And then I can pull you in. Where we have another Discord specifically for that Iron Root community. Assuming we're called Iron Root. the sun tree of Ironroot, because a county in Kipik is called a sun tree. A duchy is a dew tree, and the kingdom is the what? What was it? Sun tree, dew tree, and the something else tree. I don't remember. Anyway, there's Kipik words. The last call for questions. Also, another thing about this game is thanks for all areas. Sure piqued my interest. One last thing to consider before we leave, and you're more than welcome, as you know, that if this world were completely flat, if it had no monsters, if it had no mountains, if it had no NPCs in the way, and you were going to want to walk from the very northern tip of this game to the very southern tip of this game, okay, of the starting continent, not on horseback. We're not talking about being on horseback. We're just getting in the world, pressing W and walking, right? The size of this world is so large that to go from here to here. Now think about Durotar, think about Eastern Kingdoms and World of Warcraft for a moment. Okay? Just picture that, because we've traveled across by foot, right? 48 real life hours of constantly holding down W to get from one tip to the other. 2 days, 2 real life days, constant, is how big this is. You look at this and you're like, well, map like Durotar or something like this. Looks like Eastern Kingdoms or something like that. All of World of Warcraft can fit into like 1 or 2 of these duchies. All of World of Warcraft can fit in this space. Okay? So when you look at something like let's look at this duchy, and you see that this duchy has 24 counties, and you go, maybe if all of World of Warcraft can fit into this, you're now beginning to get that scale. So whenever you come in and you click in here, and you're going, okay, well, there's this mountain area. By the way, the way that this map is set up is intentional for the art style, because this will also translate, these assets are going into the game in the cartography system in the game. If you want to be a map maker, a cartographer, that is a valid job that you can have to make maps in the world. And this art style is what they've thrown into the game for that. It doesn't give us that really high detailed stuff that we would imagine. But there is a video. Let me find that real quick too. Okay. I know. I said I was gonna leave and then I don't. Because this is just too cool. Their map generation video, right? They were going through and they were showing up like originally we saw the world and we saw like mountains and stuff like that. To give you a scale, now this is all in gray here at the end, because they were building, this is their test map and their test continent and how it was procedurally generated and stuff. But here we go. Okay, so let's say that we want to get a good shot of a scale of how big the world is. And this is one of my favorite things to do. He's just going to be in the air and he's bringing it on down, and I'll just let Snipe Hunter
as we get closer, you can
tell you.
see that they're the shapes of houses. In fact, that little black speck there, it's actually a person, a player. In fact, as we zoom in, you can begin to see just exactly how big just the desert is, 1/16 of the world. If we were to take that entire world and say, view it from space, and then zoom into a village like this, you would probably get a better sense of the scope and scale of the world. So why don't we do that? Hopefully, as you can see, Lyria isn't a place where you're going to walk from one end of the continent to another in just an hour or two. It's a place where making a trip around the world is an actual adventure, something to look forward to, an ambition to have. And we think that that's necessary for a world to feel real. And of course, That's always been the goal with Chronicles of Lyria. Hope you enjoy the video. We'll see you next week.
Is that not just amazing? So one little settlement out there in the world is that big. You know, it's that tiny compared to the world that we're in, the physical world. Well, guys, I again thank you all for tuning in. I'm Arius, my friend Harley that's been here hanging out with me some tonight. Give him a follow or so forth, and or go see. And Harley, are you gonna start streaming again fairly soon?
As soon as I get the light bulbs for the green screen replaced, yes.
All right. And that's our big COE thing for tonight. Thank you guys so much, and we hope to see you in Illyria, and we hope that you guys are interested in coming in and joining our community. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.